The book will always be committed to illustrating the concepts that support and distribute the world of manifestation. The being, intelligently convinced of being divided into body, soul, and spirit, possesses in each of these parts distinct understandings, always with debatable unquestionability. The body is understood as the agent of the being in the manifested world. It has a beginning, a predetermined time, and an end. Being perceived as the tangible expression of the being, existence considers the body as its raw material. In summary, the body is the physical manifestation of the being, the raw material of existence. It is the vehicle through which experiences in the material world occur. In the alchemical context, the body is the vehicle, the crucible, or the vessel where the transformations of the being take place. The soul, as the individual essence of the being, is seen as an intermediate means between the body and the spirit. However, as the agent that animates the body and makes it act, the soul can be considered an indissoluble part of the being, requiring a linking element. The paradox is that this soul has no beginning, no predetermined time, and no end. In summary, the soul can be seen as the individual essence of the being, bearer of emotions, memories, and identity. It acts as an intermediary between body and spirit, being the battlefield between earthly desires and the pursuit of transcendence. The spirit is often confused with the soul because it is seen as the immortal principle. However, its role as a connecting element is not up for debate. Being understood as the link that connects the being to the whole and to the source, the spirit is also seen as the bond between body and soul, or, in other words, between the manifested being and the essential being. In summary, the spirit can be seen as the immortal principle, the divine spark that inhabits the being. It represents the connection with the whole, the source of wisdom and light. In alchemy, it is the fire that transforms and purifies, elevating the being to its true nature. Logic is a tool created by the being in manifestation, a ladder toward understanding. Intelligence, when associated with logic, grants it the power of self-destruction. The void left by logic is the silence necessary for the being to find the spirit that connects heaven and earth. Heaven and earth each represent, in their allegory, the immortality and mortality of the being. It is difficult for the manifested being to walk through the world without realizing that it has arrived nowhere, and, therefore, that no evolution has occurred. It is dangerous not to understand the function of the character. However, the meaning of death offers the being the understanding that it existed in a moment. Death reveals that the being was never the character, only lent it life and time. Here, there is no mystery, riddle, or metaphor. The being itself is responsible for the presence of the characters and the environments in which they manifest. The character dissolves over time, and nothing of it remains. The immortal being, however, continues.